afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday. Boy, what a difference sunshine makes, doesn't it?
It's incredible. It really felt great outside today.
Better moods.
Although if you're a snow lover, there's good news in the forecast. We'll get that from Dana coming up.
But first, here's what's making news on this Wednesday. After 2 days of deliberations, a Dane County jury reaches a verdict in a murder case.
Authorities continue to search for a suspect in the murder at Adele's Casino. Our Keely Arthur has details on who the suspect is.
And as TSA workers rally for an end to the government shutdown, Jamie Perez has figures on the number of local furloughed federal workers applying for unemployment.
Let's take a look outside today. It was a beautiful winter day, nice and sunny. It didn't feel too cold.
No.
Great day to take a walk or take the dogs out.
The sun makes a big difference. However, real winter is just ahead, and the real Dana Fulton's in the backyard weather patio, enjoying today at least.
Today, actually, really nice out here right now. Of course, the sun's still up for about 40 more minutes, and it doesn't feel too bad. You need a jacket, and of course, temperatures are still seasonal, so it's a little chilly, but really a pleasant day for the middle of January. Real winter, though, will be moving in as we get to the weekend. We will be talking about some very, very cold temperatures. So we are expecting, again, a cold head to the end of the week. Overall, right now, looking at our Doppler track, things look okay for us outside. Barely a cloud in the sky, no threat for any sort of moisture coming in for us for the next several hours. It is 25 degrees currently. That's chilly in Madison, 34 though in Janesville, about 32 in Mineral Point. Right now, with the wind chill factored in, it does feel just a little cooler than where we actually are at. Over the next several hours, our temps are going to fall. Our skies are going to become mostly cloudy. That's my bad news. Tomorrow, we aren't expecting any sunshine for the day. Temps will be close to freezing for afternoon highs. And we do have the chance for a few flurries in the morning. That's not the real winter, though. The real winter is Friday night into Saturday. We've added a few alert days to the forecast because of the snow that is going to be moving in. We'll take a look at that snowfall chance coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, and take a look at the roads with a first alert traffic update. Overall, we actually are expecting our road conditions to stay fairly calm for the next several hours. There we go. Looking at Dane County right now, it is green, and it's going to stay pretty green for us. It's what we're picking up. No accidents or major construction for us currently. Zooming in just a little bit towards Fitchburg and Verona. Again, no major congestion in Middleton right now. Things look okay for us as well. And if we look up towards Baraboo and Portage and even towards the Lone Rock area, speed seems to be going just fine. Drive times are okay, too. A lot of green from Janesville to the Beltline and Middleton to Sauk City, and same from downtown to Sun Prairie. So if you're getting ready to hop on the roads, you'll definitely need the shades, but don't expect any major delays for us right now. So, yes, we're talking about snowfall for Friday night. We will get to that in just a few minutes.
And no travel problems between now and then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the nice weather. Stay outside a little longer. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, a Dane County jury has returned a verdict in the murder case of Daniel Leeske.
He was charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 21-year-old Sun Prairie man.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Daniel Leeske, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide in violation of 940.01, sub 1, sub A, as charged in the first count of the information.
The 60-year-old Leeske was charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse in the death of Jesse Faber. Prosecutors say Leeske shot Faber 5 times. Leeske and his fiancée, Michelle Goss, hid his body in a storage unit in Rio. Both Leeske and Goss pleaded guilty to that. Faber's parents say justice has been served.
My son is not a murderer. He was a sweet, sweet boy who didn't deserve this. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. That evil, evil man is done. He is going away. Hopefully forever. Sweet justice. Sweet justice.
Love you, Jess.
Sweet justice.
Leeske faces life in prison for the homicide conviction, plus 12 years for hiding Faber's body. It is day 2 in the search for a Middleton man accused of murder.
Authorities are looking for 68-year-old Robert Pulvermacher. Our Keely Arthur first brought us the story, and she joins us now with the latest. Keely.
Yeah, he's still out there. Authorities responded to reports of sightings of Pulvermacher yesterday in Madison, but he has yet to be apprehended. Robert Pulvermacher is believed to be responsible for killing an 80-year-old man in the parking lot of the Ho-Chunk Casino in the town of Delton Monday. He's been on the run since then. The 68-year-old has an extensive criminal past in our state, which includes burglary and felony possession of a firearm. He escaped from a federal prison in Duluth in 1998 and was located over a week later. Of course, if you see this man, authorities want you to call 911. And Pulvermacher was also questioned extensively in the 1998 murder of Father Alfred Coons in Dane, Wisconsin. We'll have more details on that coming up on News 3 at 5 and 6.
That's an interesting twist.
It is.
All right, Keely,
You'll
thank
wanna
you.
hear.
We'll see you at 5.
Thank you, Keely. Congressional leaders say they will cancel the upcoming Martin Luther King Jr. recess and stay in session unless a deal on border security is reached. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sent President Trump a letter asking him to postpone the State of the Union address until the government is reopened. Pelosi said both the Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security have not been funded for 26 days, with critical departments hamstrung by furloughs.
This requires hundreds of people working on the logistics and the security of it. Most of those people are either furloughed or victims of the shutdown.
There has been some impact, but at the same time, again, we're focused on the long-term economic principles that the president's laid out.
The White House says President Trump had a constructive meeting with a bipartisan group of Democrats and Republicans today, but the two sides did not reach a solution on border security. The Trump administration is recalling 50,000 federal employees to work without pay, including food inspectors and IRS staff. And as the blame game continues in Washington, the shutdown's effects are rippling across the country. Many federal workers are seeking financial aid.
800,000 federal employees are affected nationwide, 29,000 right here in Wisconsin. Our Jamie Perez shows us just how many people in Madison are affected by this and have filed for unemployment as a result. Jamie?
That's right. So Governor Tony Evers has actually encouraged those who are furloughed from the shutdown to get help through unemployment claims, and many of them have been doing just that. As of January 12th, 281 federal furloughed employees have filed initial claims for unemployment. Now, before the government shutdown started, they only had 16 federal employees who filed for unemployment. So there is a huge noticeable difference in those numbers there. With no end in sight to the shutdown, those numbers could increase in the coming days as more people will start to feel the effects of not getting paid as time goes on.
It's always troublesome when you know that people are unemployed or not being paid due to no fault of their own. So it's the department's desire to help people with this safety net for a period of time until they can be employed again.
And Emily there added that anyone affected by this can file a claim online at dwd.wisconsin.gov, or you can call their claims line at 414-435-7069. That information will also be available on our website at channel3000.com. As you can tell, a lot of people are affected by this. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear one man's story of why this shutdown has personally affected him and what point he is going to draw the line and seek unemployment for himself.
We will see you at 6. Thanks, Jamie.
And as the shutdown continues to affect air travel, particularly at the nation's airports, Robert Gray reports from Los Angeles International Airport.
Since the partial government shutdown began 3 days before Christmas, some 51,000 TSA workers have continued to show up at airports to screen passengers and inspect baggage. They've been doing that high-stakes work despite not knowing when the next paycheck is coming.
We don't have money. We don't know if we're getting paid, so it's just, we got to pay the bills.
Union leaders say the shutdown is having a devastating effect on TSA agents.
We consider them part of our family, and you know, we sympathize with their situation, not having a paycheck. These are not, you know, workers that make a lot of money.
The TSA workers say they need more than sympathy. Here in Los Angeles and around the country, they're holding rallies to call attention to their situation.
My members, myself, we really cannot go on in a prolonged period of time without a paycheck. At some point, some folks are going to start saying, hey, they're going to have to find another line of employment.
Air travelers have already been sharing the agent's pain.
I feel very bad for the people who aren't getting paychecks. I think it's horribly unfair that they're pawns in all of this.
It's going to get hectic because lines are already really long.
In some cities, sick calls have more than doubled, leading to closed terminals and long lines. Robert Gray, CBS News, Los Angeles International Airport.
The Pentagon has confirmed an explosion in northern Syria has killed 2 U.S. service members and injured 3 others. A civilian and a contractor with the Department of Defense were also killed. ISIS says one of its fighters launched the assault outside a restaurant, detonating a vest filled with explosives. The bombing comes less than a month after President Trump announced 2,000 U.S. forces stationed in Syria were coming home.
The danger to our troops will only increase because of the haphazard and lack of strategy that we have in Syria.
We're never going to be safe here unless we're willing to help people over there.
Turkey's president says the explosion may have been an act aimed to deter the United States from withdrawing troops.
New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is jumping into the 2020 race for president. Earlier today, the 52-year-old Democratic hopeful spoke alongside her family in her hometown of Troy, New York. Gillibrand announced last night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert that she is forming an exploratory committee to seek the Democratic nomination.
I'm going to run for president of the United States because as a young mom, I will fight for your children as hard as I would fight for my own. And that's why I believe that health care should be a right and not a privilege.
Gillibrand joins what's expected to be a crowded primary field for the Democratic nomination that could include more than a dozen candidates. She already has plans to travel to the leadoff caucus state of Iowa later this week.
Well, still to come tonight at 4, we are right in the middle of the cold and flu season.
And there are things you can do to prevent sickness and ways to ease the symptoms if you become sick. We'll get some advice from Consumer Reports when Live at 4 continues. Welcome back. British Prime Minister Theresa May has survived a no-confidence vote in Parliament today.
The vote comes one day after lawmakers rejected May's Brexit deal by a historic margin. The House of Commons voted 325 to 306 to reject a motion of no confidence, meaning that May can remain in office. But the result did little to quell the turmoil gripping the British government over her plan for leaving the European Union.
Boosted by bank stocks, Wall Street posted gains today. The Dow Industrials added 141 points, ending the day at 24,207. The Nasdaq Composite Index was up 10. The S&P 500 gained 5. Well, in case you haven't noticed by all the coughing and sneezing going around, this is the cold and flu season.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported last week the flu is now widespread in 30 states and has sickened nearly 7 million Americans so far, and the worst could be yet to come. Catherine Roberts is a health reporter for Consumer Reports and joins us today to talk about what you need to know about the flu and what you can do to keep yourself and your family safe. Catherine, good to see you.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hard to believe we're halfway through January already. So how does this flu season compare to last year? Is it less or more severe?
Well, so far, signs are pointing to this flu season being a little less severe than last year's. Doctors' visits for flu-like illness and hospitalizations for flu are both lower right now than they were at the same time last year. So that's some good news. Also, we have a different strain of flu circulating than we did last year. Last year, it was this very dangerous H3N2 strain. This year, we mostly have H1N1, which can be a little more mild, especially for older adults. But we're really not out of the woods yet. Flu is unpredictable, so it could get more severe still. And at the very least, we do have several more weeks of flu season to go.
If you haven't gotten one already, can you still get a flu shot, or is it too late?
No, it is not too late. And in fact, if you have not gotten one yet, you should run, not walk, to go get it. Get it today if you can. It takes 2 weeks to become fully effective, so you really want to get protected as soon as you can to sort of get you through the rest of flu season. If you have a kid that hasn't had the flu shot yet, they definitely need to get that because most kids, unfortunately some children die every year, and most who die from flu are unvaccinated.
So besides the shot, what else can people do to avoid getting sick?
Well, diligent hand washing is key, and that's not just for the flu. That protects you against a lot of other illnesses like colds, like stomach bugs that are going around this time of year. Avoiding touching your nose and eyes with your hands, that can kind of help cut down on transmission. And then if you do get sick, it's really best if you can to stay home and try not to, expose others to any bugs.
Well, if you're one of the unlucky ones that does end up coming down with the flu, what about antiviral medications like Tamiflu? Do those things make a difference?
They do, and they are especially important if you are someone who's at a higher risk for having a severe complication from flu, and that includes older adults, people 65 and up, young kids, anyone with a pre-existing medical condition like heart disease or asthma, and also pregnant women. These people are at a higher risk for having a really severe illness, and so it's important if you're in that group to take an antiviral drug, and you should call the doctor as soon as you start feeling sick, because these are most effective if you take them within 48 hours of getting ill. And then the last thing is to know is that you do not want to take an antibiotic for the flu. Flu is a virus. Antibiotics only work on bacterial infections, and so all you'll be doing if you take an antibiotic is just inviting negative side effects with no benefits.
Mm-hmm. Some people take supplements like echinacea and vitamin C to prevent the cold and flu. Do they work?
Consumer Reports, we try to look at the best scientific evidence about all kinds of medical treatments, and the best scientific evidence suggests that supplements really are not that effective. Vitamin C, there's some evidence to suggest that if you take it regularly, it may help, lessen the severity of colds. Once you get sick, taking a bunch of vitamin C isn't very helpful. And all of these types of things have side effects. Echinacea can worsen asthma in some people. It can cause nausea. It's, any cup of tea is going to help soothe your symptoms if you have the cold and flu, but, it's best not to ascribe a superpower to these kinds of things.
Let's all try and stay as healthy as we can.
Yeah, it's been a rough winter around here already.
And hope for spring. It's right around the corner. Catherine, thanks for being with us today.
Indeed.
Stay well.
Thanks a lot.
We'll
You
be
too.
We'll be right back. Take a look at this. Tasty-looking snowmen were discovered in a Leavenworth, Nebraska park after the latest snowfall there. Someone created about 50 colorful snow characters. No one knows who the artist is, but whoever it is will have more material to work with soon as more snow is heading to the Midwest. They have a lot to work with there.
No, it's sort of like around here.
An army of snowmen.
Yes. Pastels, very nice.
Yes.
It is Wednesday, January 16th. It is International Hot and Spicy Food Day, and I don't like hot and spicy
I'm
food.
the opposite. I love it.
Oh no, we're team no spicy.
You're not a spicy
Sorry.
person?
We'll pass it all to you.
You can have it all.
I'll take it all.
Not my thing.
Today is National Without a Scalpel Day. Is that right?
That's right.
The first angioplasty procedure, which is minimally invasive heart surgery, was performed on this date in Portland, Oregon in 1964.
Oh, that long ago.
Yeah.
Interesting. Most importantly, it's National Nothing Day. It's a day to do absolutely nothing.
I like
guys.
that.
Yes.
We should have led with that and just left it there.
And then ended.
nothing
That's
else.
all we got.
All right, but you got weather coming.
We have quite a bit of weather coming in. We've actually added alert days throughout the entire weekend for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. We're looking at some snow and some very, very, very cold temperatures. We'll take a look at the forecast right after the break. Now, today was fantastic. Not going to argue at all about our sunshine that we had this afternoon and the temperatures close to 30. It really was a great day, but we have added alert days to the forecast for this weekend, especially Friday night into Saturday and again Sunday morning. So the breakdown here, Friday night, we are expecting some light snowfall to develop later in the day with several inches of snow moving in at night with higher accumulation totals south of Madison. For Saturday, that snow is going to gradually wrap up through the morning, but we may still pick up just a little bit more for us in the morning. And of course, any cleanup will be moving through for Saturday. And then by Sunday, we're looking at overnight lows close to zero, finally breaking that stretch of not being in the single digits, but our wind chills will also be anywhere from -10 to -20. So we are looking at a very chilly start to the day on Sunday. Our Doppler track right now is calm. Our visible cloud track also calm for us today. We really had a nice sunny sky. Now, this line, this stationary front is actually going to continue just south of us. That area of low pressure is going to bring, again, some light flurries for us for tomorrow, maybe even some freezing drizzle for some areas, but that's for Thursday morning. And then our next big system is expected to track to the south, and it is going to bring us our light snow and accumulating snowfall overnight for Friday night and Saturday morning. So looking at our future track for the next 48 hours or so, we are expecting a mostly cloudy sky for Thursday, so the clouds just building back in with a chance for some flurries and maybe freezing drizzle. Mainly in the morning, though, for your Thursday. Afternoon highs will be in the low 30s for us. Heading into Friday, we'll actually have a partly cloudy start to the day. It won't be too bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, the clouds build back in, and then overnight, the snow starts to march in for us. And we're expecting snowfall stretching from central Wisconsin on south. The numbers, though, as far as our accumulation, are going to, again, be higher south of Madison. That snow continues to move through into early Saturday. Throughout the morning, we're going to have some light snowfall, but it is going to gradually end for us as we get closer to noon and throughout the afternoon. We'll still see some clouds hanging out, but the snowfall continues to move out of here. As far as our totals, that GFS model we were just looking at is being just a little generous, leaning closer to about 5 inches for us to come towards Madison, really leaning more towards that 2 to 4 inch range. Again, with our Euro model bringing just about 1.5 inches into Madison, with higher totals close to 4 inches in Rockford and almost 4.5, just over 4.5 in Dubuque. So we are expecting, again, a snow event to roll through for Friday night and Saturday. As far as that range, though, leaning a little closer to 2 to 4 inches, a happy medium between some of our models. Heading into the weekend, after we get through the snow event, temperatures are going to drop quite a bit for early Sunday morning. It looks like our streak, our 336-day streak that is still going on, is going to come to an end finally, where we'll see our temperatures drop into the single digits for early Sunday. Even as our temperatures drop close to zero, we are expecting our actual wind chills, what it feels like outside, to be much cooler than that. Will be anywhere from -10 to -20 for early Sunday morning. So enjoy the weather today. And again, the calm temperatures expected for tomorrow. Downtown's not too bad currently. Really did have a nice afternoon with high temps getting close to 33. A sunset not until 4:49, so we still have a few more minutes before official sunset. And again, 33 is still above average for us for the middle of January. Overnight, our temps are going to hold pretty steady, close to 20. We aren't really going to drop too much. We'll hit 20 this evening and then stay pretty steady there, with our skies becoming mostly cloudy late, and the clouds will stay with us through tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're looking at that freezing drizzle and flurry chance really in the morning, though. That's really expected to come through early for your Thursday. And then the big snow, the real winter, as we were calling it with the quotes earlier, will be late Friday into Saturday and Sunday. Those alert days, of course, again, for snowfall late Friday, not throughout the day. During our Saturday morning, that accumulating snow is still possible. And then the alert day on Sunday, as our overnight temperatures drop quite a bit into Sunday morning, will be close to zero for us overnight, with the wind chills from -10 to -20. It's going to be very chilly both Sunday and Monday morning. Monday, we may see some snowfall coming in at night for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but during the afternoon, barely getting into the teens for us on Sunday and Monday.
So late Friday, sort of after work time,
Correct.
overnight hours?
Yes.
Or, okay.
We could start to see some light flurries to the western side of the state, maybe during that commute right around 5 o'clock, but most of it is really going to come in later in the day and at night for us.
A quick event.
A quick event sliding through. It's not going to linger too long, so it should be easy to clean up, but some folks may be waking up on Saturday to quite a bit of snow.
But you might want to clean up before Sunday because it's going to ice over.
Then it's going to freeze, and a hard freeze will come along with that.
Wow. Reality sets in.
Yes, where we're supposed to be.
All right,
This is
Dana.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, starting today, YouTube is banning videos that encourage risky activities that could result in physical harm.
The decision comes in the wake of pranks and challenges that have caused some serious injuries. Meg Oliver reports from New York.
Take it slow.
Following the popularity of the Bird Box Challenge and the Tide Pod Challenge, YouTube is cracking down on potentially harmful videos. Its new guidelines prohibit challenges presenting a risk of serious danger or death. The policy change comes the same month a teenager in Utah crashed her car while blindfolded, a stunt inspired by the Netflix film Bird Box. Suzanne Cantra is a technology expert.
Anything that's going to keep kids from doing stupid things or adults from doing stupid things, that's great. It's going to keep them safer.
YouTube is also banning videos containing pranks that make victims believe they're in serious physical danger or cause children to experience severe emotional distress.
How can you determine if a video will cause emotional harm to a child?
Anything that's going to traumatize them, tricking them into believing something that didn't actually happen. For instance, if you faked a parent's death, for instance, that could traumatize a child even if shortly after they were able to see that that parent was alive and well.
YouTube says it needs to make sure what's funny doesn't cross the line, but experts say it may be difficult to determine exactly where that line is. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
And according to YouTube's guidelines, a violation will result in a strike.
3 strikes in 90 days will result in the termination of your YouTube account, although you are able to appeal.
I think it's about time.
Yeah, oh, I think so too.
Blindfold thing is stupid.
With driving? Oh my goodness.
All right, next, an experimental program may help those dealing with multiple sclerosis.
These freezer tanks hold millions of stem cells. Coming up, we'll show you how stem cells like these may hold the key to treating patients with multiple sclerosis.
Beautiful shot. That's a live look downtown. Look at how light it still is.
Sun is still up. We're getting there.
Great shot. An experimental treatment for multiple sclerosis is showing promise in stopping symptoms of the disease.
The autoimmune disease, where the body attacks itself, causes a wide range of symptoms, including vision problems, fatigue, and weakness.
Now, a new study finds a single stem cell transplant could stop or delay symptoms better than some medications. Dr. Tara Narula reports.
Amanda Loy never imagined she'd be battling the Alaska elements on her runs instead of battling her disease. Amanda was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS, the form that comes and goes in sporadic episodes, bringing her life to a sudden halt.
Both of my arms went numb and I wasn't really able to use them well.
Every month, she underwent a drug infusion and took half a dozen other medications. But her symptoms just got worse.
I started having bladder problems, and my balance was really bad, requiring the cane more often.
So Amanda traveled almost 3,000 miles to Chicago to participate in a trial with the hope of stopping the disease in its tracks.
Transplant ended up being markedly superior in all the parameters we looked at.
Dr. Richard Burt led the international trial at Northwestern School of Medicine. A patient's own stem cells are collected and stored. During a 2-week stay in the hospital, high-dose chemo is given to wipe out the immune system. Then the stem cells are infused back into the patient to reboot the body's immune system.
I knew that I couldn't just keep going the way that I was going.
Trudy Manderfield was just 23 when she received her diagnosis. In 2013, with an infant daughter, she was ready to try the new treatment.
Were you scared? Very. More excited, though, than scared. Any procedure will have a side effect of death. As a new mom, I'm going, okay, well, that would be bad. But I knew that I had to give it a shot.
Trudy is doing well, but she still has occasional symptoms and is off MS medications. Amanda is also off MS medications. She plans to head back to Chicago to run the city's marathon in October. Dr. Tara Narula, CBS News, Chicago.
That's incredible, isn't it? The transplant may not be a permanent fix.
There are serious risks like infertility, infection, even death. Well, while we saw some sun today, winter days can be depressing.
Lisa Briggs is here. She has the cure. She has all kinds of plants. Believe it or not, the research shows it can have significant mental health benefits.
I believe that.
I know, it just makes you feel like spring. Lisa will join us when we come back.
looking at the Beltline right now at John Nolan. The westbound side, as usual, seems to be going okay. The eastbound side, though, definitely seeing a few brake lights over there. Speeds reduced a little bit if you go just east of John Nolan. By the time you get a little closer to 51, you're back up to 51 miles per hour. But there is a bit of a slowdown there near the John Nolan exit. If you get a little closer to Fish Hatchery Road, it's about 57 miles per hour. And then as you're getting ready to make that turn towards Gammon, down to or up to about 58. So speeds along the Beltline pretty standard for this time of day. Verona, a little bit of a slowdown there heading through downtown. Fitchburg seems to look okay. And up towards the Middleton area, also see a little bit of traffic and congestion near the downtown area, but no accidents to report throughout Dane County, which is always a good thing. If we take a little step back and look up towards Baraboo, Portage, and towards Lone Rock, so on 14, 12, and 51, speeds seem to look fine right now. From Janesville to the Beltline will take you 26 minutes. Not seeing any delays there from 39 and 90 all the way down or up from Janesville to the Beltline. From Middleton to Sauk City, just about 17 minutes. And then from downtown to Sun Prairie, so northbound, it'll take you about 17 minutes as well, heading on 151. So drive times all look okay for this time of day. Again, no accidents reported, so a lot of good news for us. Sunset's a few minutes away, and then after that, you won't need the shades for your drive this evening.
All right, Dana, thank you. Holy mackerel, look at the size of the fish a Tennessee fisherwoman hauled in. It's an 88-pound catfish.
Oh, wow.
That she caught on Kentucky Lake. Paula Kathy Smith and a man struggled to get the fish out of the water. Oh, that's an ugly thing. Smith returned the fish back to the lake after the weigh-in and a photo shoot. She's a firm believer of catch and release.
Oh, I like that.
Look at the size of that thing. Ooh. Catfish are so ugly. Anyway, moving on. A large body of research ties access to nature to improvements in mental and physical health.
Yeah, that's right. This time of the year when it's cold and gray, it really helps to see a little bit of green.
It really does. Or some flowers.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here.
So there have been studies that have been cited in magazines like Psychology Today. We've talked about, how certain plants can remove toxins from your air and can have, very beneficial health benefits. But we're going to talk about mood elevating things today. And so there are studies that show that having plants in your sight can do things like increase your attention span. They can reduce anxiety. They can stimulate creativity, increase attentiveness. So instead of, say, taking something to, to focus your concentration, you put a plant on your desk. Or they're really good in your home and at schools. So there's a lot of research that shows that you should have plants kind of everywhere.
Any plants will do?
Any plants, I think for the mood elevating, any plants will do. Because they're not physically doing anything, they're sort of stimulating your mind. So I guess when you go to the garden center, you should look for things that make you happy, that you find interesting. I would pay attention to smell because that's a sense that's really evocative, tied to memory and that kind of thing. I would make sure, though, that you choose plants that will work well, that will thrive in the area where you're going to put them. Because I would think that plants that are struggling would not be mood elevating.
No, it's going to stress you out.
That would increase your anxiety,
yeah,
indeed.
Exactly. I killed the plant.
Yay. So I would, if you're a novice gardener, stay away from things like citrus or gardenias or maidenhair ferns and go with the things that are easier to take care of.
Yeah, what did
These
you
are
bring?
pretty easy to take care of.
So this is a new pothos or a newer pothos called Pearls and Jade. Pothos are really easy to take care of. Very adaptable.
I don't think we got to see that. Sorry about that, Lisa. Let's start with the yellow one and then work our way down. Yeah.
This is a primrose. I just love these. It's a sign of spring. Primrose thrive in bright light and cooler temperatures. A lot of our houses are cooler at this time of year. This is a fern that is, that's a relatively easy one to take care of. We have
that's the one you were just talking about, the pothos?
This is pothos called Pearls and Jade.
That looks pretty easy to take care of.
Pothos are like philodendron, really easy to take care of. Low light, high light, low watering, overwatering.
Hard to kill them.
Exactly. This one here, this little one in front, and then these two here, these are peperomias, and also another easy plant to take care of, and a lot of variation as far as how the plant looks.
The little one in the front would be perfect on your desk.
Yes, and you can hang them because they'll drape a little bit.
And they could live in office light?
Yes. And then this is a calathea. This one is called Beauty Star. And I just love the way the variegation of the foliage with that little bit of pink and the undersides have a beautiful color underneath.
So let the plant draw you in.
Yes, yes.
Have the plant pick you.
Have the plant pick you, and then check with somebody to make sure it's good for the area. There have also been some studies that talk about microbes that are released in soil. So when you're walking outside, that are very mood elevating, and it made me think of my absolute favorite word in the English language, which is petrichor, and that's the smell of rain hitting soil. You know, when you have a summer rain and you smell that smell,
There's a word for that.
That's, yes, petrichor. And for me, that's very calming.
I agree. That's one of the best smells in the world.
They should make a candle, though.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great idea.
So temperatures are going to be dropping, snow's going to be falling. Get a plant.
Get a plant, indeed.
They're easy to take care of.
Replace all that beautiful, the Christmas nonsense that you've all put away.
Oh, that's a good point. Right.
So you need a little color.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be spring in what, 3 months, 4 months?
Well, but the equinox is, what, 10 weeks away?
There you go.
And
there you go.
Yeah, then he really gets busy. I know, you can't wait, can you? Do you start seeds or anything in your house?
We gotta go.
Before the spring?
I do not.
No, you don't.
I don't.
We'll do seeds next time.
That's stressful for me.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Nice evening.
Nice evening.
Get out, take a walk.
Pretty okay night for us tonight. We had a really nice sunny day. We're looking at temperatures, falling close to 20 for us, staying close to 20 throughout the overnight hours. Tomorrow, we're looking at a cloudy sky. May see some flurries in the morning, but the main concern for us right now, of course, what we're focusing on, that is Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. We have 3 alert days that we have added to the forecast. Friday, we're expecting the snow to move in, several inches of snow coming in at night. It'll end on Saturday, and then Sunday morning, temps will be in the low single digits with those wind chills anywhere from -10 to -20.
We have been alerted.
We have been alerted, yes.
Right.
There's your warning.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Tomorrow here on Live Before, nutritionist Julie Andrews is here with recipes from her DASH Eating Plan cookbook.
And our auto expert Harvey Briggs reports from the Detroit Auto Show. He'll show us what vehicles are wooing the crowd this year. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's Final Touch, some inspiration for those ravaged by the California